Welcome to the main event. This is MLB's International League Game of the Week. Fans, we have a great one for you today. It's the dynamic, dynastic, dynamite team of the 2020s, the Cucarachas. O, como dice en español, las Cucarachas, who are dominating the league, winning the last 3 International League championships. A team loaded with talent of many future Hall of Famers. Today, they face a team itself loaded with future Hall of Fame talent. So sit back, don't relax, have your party wings ready, because you're not going to want to unglue your eyes from the screen. Don't worry about the buffalo sauce this matchup, because by the time you make it back to your seat, all you're going to want is to catch up, because this game of the week promises to supply non-stop heat. Now I present to you your Las Cucarachas. In left field, we have the former White Sox and Expo, the speedy Tim Raines. In center field, we have the speedy and up-and-coming superstar Pete Crow Armstrong. In right field, we have Avicio Garcia of the White Sox. And at first base, we have one of the speediest first basemen in the league, in Zach DeZenzo. We have Brooks Baldwin of the White Sox starting at second base. We have Alberto Mondesi starting at short, and the legendary Chipper Jones starting at third. We have, starting at the catching position, JT Realmuto of formerly of the Marlins, now of the Phillies. And as our DH, we have Francisco Lindor. Off the bench, we have the legendary former White Sox Frank Thomas. We have the legendary second baseman of the Chicago Cubs, Ryan Sandberg, and backup catcher is Yasmani Grandal, and also the outstanding legendary outfielder of the Chicago White Sox, Manny Minoso. Starting this game, we have the former White Sox, Dallas Keuchel, left-hander. Las Cucarachas' pitching rotation includes the former White Sox and lefty Dallas Keuchel, who will be starting today's game. Also on this rotation is the right-hander Yu Darvish of the Chicago Cubs, Shohei Ohtani, the two-way player, pitcher and outfielder, former Cub and Brave, the great Cy Young winning Greg Maddux, and rounding out this dynamic rotation, we have the former White Sox great Tom Seaver. Coming out of the bullpen in late relief, we have Tyler Matzek. Middle reliever is Sir Anthony Dominguez, the right-hander of the Phillies. And also in middle relief, we have Felix Bautista of the Baltimore Orioles. We also have middle reliever Taylor Rogers of the Minnesota Twins. All right-handers except for Tyler Matzek. And then we have the left-hander and middle relief pitcher Drew Pomeranz. Outstanding. We also have 2 setup pitchers. We have the legendary Riley Fingers, and we have the great Rob Nean as a setup pitcher. And our closer, our consummate closer, is the White Sox great Liam Hendricks. Las Cucarachas are the highest rated team in the International League. The Lemurs of Peru, they're a pretty good team, and they are a tough out for Las Cucarachas. Our starting lineup is Tim Raines in left field, Alberto Mondesi at shortstop, Chipper Jones at third, JT Realmuto catching, Avicio Garcia at right field, Pete Crow Armstrong at center field, Jack DeCenso at first, Brooks Baldwin at second, and Francisco Lindor batting ninth as the DH.
Now batting for the Yankees, number 2, Derek Jeter, number 2.
American League. Down to third. Oh boy, here we go. Manny Machado. Oh, gotcha.
You'll have to make him play again, probably. To right center field. Revere on the run, and he reaches out. He makes the catch.
MVP.
All right, we're ready for International League Baseball. The Lemurs of Peru versus La Cucarachas. Starting things off is Tim Raines. Now, Tim Raines is one of the consummate leadoff hitters as he goes for the first pitch, and it's a fly out. Yeah, that's so unlike him. He's not usually a first pitch guy. But sometimes he is, and he usually does pretty good with that first pitch. All right, next up here is Alberto Mondesi. He's been ripping the league pretty good. He's 0-2 after that 98-mile-per-hour fastball. But look for this guy to lead Las Cucarachas in their offense today, as well as his defense. There's a fly out to, I say, mid center field, taken care of by Luis Roberts of the White Sox. Yeah, like I say, the Las Cucarachas had their work cut out for them today. This Lemurs baseball team, although not nearly as highly rated, they're a pretty tough team. And they've played Las Cucarachas pretty tough over the years. All right, there's Chipper Jones batting third, a quick at bat as he flies out to left field, bringing up the Lemurs of Peru. All right, their lead off is Robert Jr., and we have Alvarez coming batting after him. All right, Dallas Keuchel, one of the best left-handers in the business. He's probably going to start him off with it. Yep, that's as I suspected. He will start him off with the strike. It's a fastball pitcher. He could be a finesse pitcher at times. He starts him off right there with a sinker and a cutter. A little power and finesse at the same time. Looks like he's got his rhythm going for him today. Struck him out on the sinker. Just powered it right past him. Jose Ramirez. So this is one of the tough outs for the Lemurs. He gives Las Cucarachas fits at times. Let's hope that we can get an early start. Now, the thing about these international league games is, they're pretty short. They're 3 innings, which makes them pretty difficult. Challenging to win, because usually it takes Major League Baseball players a couple of at least one at bat, sometimes a couple of at bats before they get used to a pitcher and whatever stuff he has today. The way the International League goes, as Keuchel leads them off with a 90-mile-per-hour fastball, you have to come ready. You got to come with your game face, prepared to go. You really don't have time to get used to the pitcher and his stuff. All right, as we record the last out for this inning and move over to the top half of the second inning. This game is already 1/3 of the way in the books. All right, so he leads them off there with a curveball. Now, players like to throw a lot of curveballs against the Las Cucarachas because they're a pretty good fastball hitter. They're a pretty good curveball hitter too, but teams feel like they have better luck perhaps with the curveball. There's a curveball. Hit pretty good, but a little late on the swing. Oh, that was a good curve. That was a good pitch to hit. He just missed a little bit late. Another curveball. I tell you, these teams love to throw the curveball. They're getting some pretty good swings on the curveball, but unfortunately, they're where someone can catch them. That brings up Pete Crow Armstrong. This guy is somewhat of a surprising up-and-coming all-star. He's had, good fundamentals, which is what you look for. But his bat has woken up, and his fielding, although always pretty good, has really excelled. He's one of the better center fielders in the game today. I would venture to say he's so far one of the best center fielders ever. I mean, I've seen him make Willie Mays type plays in center field. Down on strikes. All right, so we see the Limas are really working with that off-speed and curveball. And Dallas Keuchel is, looks like his main pitch is the cutter. The slider right there. Didn't get it in the strike zone, but he got a strike out of it. Okay, another sinker. That seems to be his main pitch today. Other than the cutter. So it's sinker cutter. Mixing in a changeup like you see right there. Now Dallas Keuchel is as much as all of the Cucaracha pitchers get a lot of mileage out of that changeup as he goes back to the cutter. Zach Collins at bat. He's generally a tough out for our right-handers, not so much for our left-handers. Hard hit to first. DeCenso has it, takes it to the bag. Runner is retired. Batter is retired. That brings up Owen Miller. He can be tough at times too, as he takes a sinker low. That was a good eye. Try to bait him to swing. All right, bear with us. We're having some technical difficulties right now. Okay, baseball is back in action. Oh, he hit that one pretty good. Looks like a fastball, 90 miles per hour. We got a good wood on that one, but that retires the side. Coming up is DeCenso, Baldwin, and Lindor. All right, here's Zach DeCenso, our first baseman. All right, he swings at the first pitch, a slider. Weak contact with that one for strike one. Now he got good wood on that one, which is the first hit of the game. All right. So maybe our lineup will wake up now as we bring up the 8th place hitter, Brooks Baldwin, the second baseman for your Cucarachas. Okay, fastball outside. That was a 99 mile per hour fastball. Just, well, a little bit outside, a ways outside, in fact. All right, it's a little high. Probably want to lay off that one. But those high fastballs can be pretty tempting, especially when they're close. Not that one. That was a little too far to be tempting. So we have Zach DeCenso at first. He's pretty fast for a first baseman, so you could see some motion over there on anything other than the fly ball out. All right, that brings up our 9th place hitter, Francisco Lindor. Ooh, took a cutter outside. That looked like it was going to be outside, but it came back in. That's a pretty tricky pitch. Oh, ooh, some more good wood. Unfortunately, fielder's choice right there. And he hit it right on the button, but right at the shortstop. And we got a bad bounce right there. So we just trade places on the bases with Tim Raines. It's a little faster than DeZenzo. So again, we could see some action still in second base. Well, maybe next inning. We going. All right, so hopefully I was about to say we're going to extra innings, but with any fortune, we will be going into extra innings as long as we get a shutdown right here. But right now, I think Lavallo. I think our coach is going to start somebody in the bullpen. Yeah, it looks like he got Sir Anthony Dominguez up and going, the right-hander, the Philadelphia Phillies. All right, so he got a couple of pitchers going in the bullpen because Dallas Keuchel, although he's pitching pretty good, this is around about the time that he might tire, and you want to be prepared to bring in a relief pitcher just in case he falters. But he's doing pretty good. He still has good stuff. His fastball may not be as fast, but his mind is sharper than probably his body. So he's going more from power pitching to finesse pitching. So you may see less fastballs and cutters, more sinkers and changeups. And a slider here and there. There you had a fastball. So he's even in the count 2-2. All right, 79 mile per hour slider got him. That was kind of a sneaky pitch. Looked like it was going to be on outside. Came over the corner and got him. So he still got good finesse going for him. All right. That's been his secret today. Getting ahead and staying ahead of these batters. So far, we have a pitcher's duel. So we're still 0-0. The Cucarachas have the only 2 hits of the game. And the game has a nice flow to it. Except that Las Cucarachas haven't scored a run. So if they're going to score and win this game, they're going to have to do it in extra innings. So they got to get this last out. All right, first pitch strike, first pitch swinging, first pitch out. So that takes us into extra innings. So the Lemurs change pitchers. They bring in Shelby Miller. So as the extra inning rules go, we start off with a runner at second base. Fortunate to get back on that line drive. So, yeah, the Las Cucarachas, they not doing too bad. I mean, even the Lemurs aren't really having any bad pitches as Chipper Jones grounds out right there and gets the run over to third. At least he's 90 feet closer to the to scoring. But they're not hitting the ball bad. They're just hitting it right at somebody. Like there. Yeah, so he gets stuck at third. Now the Lemurs have a chance to walk it off here. This is why they have the rule change where a runner starts off at second base, because it shortens games, specifically extra inning games. So it gives these teams a better chance of scoring, starting off with a runner in scoring position. So that has been an enhancement to the game. A lot of people don't like it because it's kind of, the naturalists don't like it. And I'm a bit of a naturalist. However, I do like it because, 14 inning, a pitching duel is nice. which is what you need if you're going to have a 14. Most 14 inning games is a pitching duel. You hardly have a game where it's going back and forth in extra innings. So if you get 14 innings, it's probably because it's a pitching duel, nobody's scoring. So those games could last for an eternity. All right, as Las Cucarachas record their first out here in the first frame of extra inning ball. And now we have Sir Anthony Dominguez. He's coming in, picking up where Dallas Keuchel left off, throwing strikes, dominating the game. So you're going to have more power pitching than finesse pitching from him. But I'm glad to see that he's keeping up the habit of Dallas Keuchel of pitching first pitch strike. And right away he's ahead of Frank Thomas with a slider right there. Frank Thomas hits a sharp ground ball to second base for an out. Well, I guess he thought if he tagged the bag twice that'd get him, huh? Alright, so for the first time, the Lemurs have someone hitting safely and getting on base. So that breaks up the no-hitter and the perfect game. Hopefully it doesn't mess up the shutout. All right, so that brings Las Cucarachas up to bat. All right, it's the second frame of extra inning baseball. Again, so, woo. All right. So, like I said, it takes a big league hitter a couple of at-bats to really get used to a pitcher's stuff. So, the second time around, I think they have, well, it's a different pitcher on the mound, but I think they're waking up at the bat. So we're ahead by 2-0, scoring the first runs of the game, which with the way they're pitching and hitting way back, oh my goodness, that was a surprise home run there. That wasn't looking for any insurance run, but we got it from the up-and-coming superstar Pete Crow Armstrong, putting us ahead 3-0 after that blast straightaway center. All right, he pops that one up. And that's one quick out after 3 runs being scored. Bringing up Brooks Baldwin, the second baseman of the White Sox. And let's see if we can get some more insurance runs. That's well struck. Way back, but not back enough. And that records the second out here in the 5th inning, as the Cucarachas try to get more insurance runs. The designated hitter Francisco Lindor at bat starts off with the count 1-0 with another hit. So now the Cucarachas are waking up. Their bats are waking up, and they're looking like themselves today. So what originated as a pitching duel here in the extra inning frames is becoming more close to a blowout. For a 3 inning, was 5 innings, so it's not that much of a blowout. But for these games, all right. So he didn't sit at first that long. All right. So that's a short fly ball to left field, handled, and that brings the Lemurs up to what I hope is their final at bat. Okay, Zach Collins facing Sir Anthony Dominguez, who is charged with closing this game out. Unless, of course, they want to go lefty on lefty here. Looks like they're going to stick with the right-hander Sir Anthony. Then again, not. Okay. So they call the lefty Tyler Rogers out of the bullpen to face the lefty. So that's a good move, even though I've seen Sir Anthony handle left-handers in key moments in the game, but the manager felt more comfortable with lefty-on-lefty matchup. And right away, he picks up where the pitchers before him started off throwing strikes. First pitch strike. All right, he gets a sinker up high, but over the plate and in the strike, the batter, Zach Collins, does not offer. So, quickly strike 2. Fouls that one off. Pretty sharply hit. Thank goodness it was foul. And there he goes. Nice sinker just off the plate. Good pitch. And 1 down. Bringing up Owen Miller. As I said before, he could be a difficult hitter to get out. Just like that. Fortunately, that was foul. So we have a man on second by the new baseball rule. Starts off there. But quickly we're 0-2. So we got 1 out. So that, prevents, it reduces the chances of them scoring with 1 out. And the runner at second has not been moved over. So the chances of him scoring are much greater if that first out had gotten him to third base as Owen Miller strikes out. All right, that brings up Al Kaline, the legendary Al Kaline. Tough out. This is one of the toughest outs that in baseball, and certainly one of the toughest outs for Las Cucarachas. So you got to be careful with this guy, because this game can bring up the tying run. Got nervous right there with that swing. But, yeah, this man can bring up the tying run with 1 swing. Let's see what pitch Taylor Rogers goes with. Okay, so he goes with the fastball, 97 miles per hour. Woo! Slurve right over the plate. That wraps it up for Las Cucarachas. Put in another win in the belt as they just try to smoothly roll into the playoffs. So this was a great game. Great performances on the mound. Looks like there was no hitter. So the scorer scored that 1 base run as an error. All right, so enjoy the highlights. Here's the beginning of our scoring as Avicio Garcia goes straight away center for a bomb to start our scoring off. And that was backed up by the up-and-coming superstar Pete Crow Armstrong, giving Las Cucarachas a 3-0 win here in the extra innings, striking out Al Kaline for the last out, securing another victory as Las Cucarachas roll into the International League playoffs. We had a couple more games to go, but they will be the number 1 seed. All right, the player of the game is Avicio Garcia with that 1 home run and 2 RBIs. And our winner is Sir Anthony Dominguez, who had 1 inning pitched, 3 strikeouts. The loser is Shelby Miller with 1 inning pitched, 2 hits, no strikeouts, no bases on balls, but his team let him down on defense, committing 2 errors, helping pave the way to another Las Cucarachas win. All right, we'll see you next time on Major League Baseball International League broadcast.